In the dimly lit room, the ticking of the clock echoed the rhythm of his broken heart. The author, Jackson, sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the wall, replaying the moment 7 months ago when he discovered his wife's infidelity. The weight of the secret bore down on him, a heavy burden he chose to carry in silence. As he traced the patterns of the wallpaper with his weary eyes, Jackson recalled the heart-wrenching scene that unfolded before him. The hushed whispers, the exchanged glances, and the undeniable evidence of his wife's betrayal. It all played like a haunting film in his mind. Yet, rather than confront her immediately, Jackson opted for the shadows, deciding to silently unravel the threads of their unraveling marriage. In the silence that enveloped their home, he meticulously planned his exit strategy. Divorce papers hidden in a drawer, lawyer consultations made discreetly, and emotions locked away to avoid the confrontation he dreaded. Jackson withdrew emotionally, becoming a ghost within the walls of a home that was once filled with love. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow through the window, Jackson found himself lost in a sea of memories. He gazed at old photographs, relics of a time when their smiles were genuine, their love untarnished. It was in that moment of reflection that Jackson realized the silent unraveling had taken its toll, leaving only the hollow shell of a relationship. As Jackson contemplated the path ahead, he overheard a distant laughter from the living room, the laughter of his children. The sound, once a source of joy, now served as a painful reminder of the family that was slowly disintegrating. The silent unraveling had reached every corner of their lives. One night, as Jackson lay in bed, he heard his wife's muffled sobs echoing from the other room. The walls, thin and fragile, seemed to absorb the weight of their crumbling marriage. In the darkness, he wondered if she, too, felt the threads slipping away. Jackson, whispering to himself, "How did we end up here? 7 months of carrying this burden, watching our love disintegrate in silence." Wife, from the living room, in a cheerful tone, "Jackson, could you join us for dinner?" "The kids miss you." Jackson, forcing a smile, "Sure, I'll be right there." Under his breath, "If only she knew the silence that's drowning us." Jackson's internal struggle and the stifled communication within the family set the stage for the quiet turmoil that would unfold in the chapters to come. In the weeks following his silent unraveling, Jackson found himself grappling with a growing sense of emptiness. The routine of his daily life had become a monotonous backdrop, devoid of the warmth and connection he once shared with his wife. It was against this backdrop that a chance encounter with an old acquaintance, Camila, breathed unexpected life into his existence. One day, as Jackson wandered through the aisles of a local bookstore, he heard a familiar voice call his name. Turning, he found himself face to face with Camila, a figure from his past who had remained dormant in his memories until this moment. Her eyes held a spark of recognition, and a tentative smile played on her lips. Camila, with a warm smile, "Jackson, is that really you? It's been ages." Jackson, surprised, "Camila? Wow, it's been so long. How have you been?" "Camila, life has its twists and turns, but I can't complain. What about you? You seem a bit lost." Jackson, reflectively, "Yeah, you could say that. A lot has happened." As they exchanged pleasantries and caught up on the years that had passed since their last encounter, Jackson sensed a palpable tension between them. It was a tension laced with unspoken history, a connection that had never been fully explored. The chemistry between them, dormant for years, flickered to life like a flame rekindled. "Camila, playfully, you always had a way of making things interesting back in the day. Remember how we used to flirt and tease each other?" Jackson, smirking, "Yeah, hard to forget. Life was simpler then, wasn't it?" Camila, "Simpler, yes, but perhaps it's not too late to inject a bit of excitement into our lives. How about we grab a coffee sometime and catch up properly?" Jackson, hesitant, "Camila, I need to be honest with you. My marriage is on the rocks. I'm heading for a divorce." Camila, compassionate, "I'm sorry to hear that, Jackson. If you ever need someone to talk to or a friend to lean on, I'm here." Their chance encounter left Jackson with a sense of nostalgia and a lingering question. Could Camila be the missing piece in the puzzle of his shattered life? As he left the bookstore, the weight of his impending divorce and the allure of a connection with Camila collided, setting the stage for a decision that would alter the course of his journey. Days turned into nights, and the specter of Camila lingered in Jackson's thoughts. The spark ignited during their chance encounter had grown into a flame, casting shadows on the wreckage of his failing marriage. Fueled by a mix of longing and frustration, Jackson knew he couldn't continue living in the silent unraveling. One evening, as the setting sun painted the sky in hues of orange and purple, Jackson found himself standing in front of the mirror, staring at the reflection of a man who had once believed in forever. The decision to confront his wife, to expose the secrets that festered in the shadows, weighed heavily on his shoulders. Jackson, to his reflection, enough is enough. It's time to face the truth and put an end to this silent agony. Summoning the strength he had long buried beneath layers of restraint, Jackson meticulously planned the conversation that had been evading him for months. The living room, the site of countless family moments, would become the stage for the revelation that would redefine their lives. That night, as Jackson sat across from his wife, the air thick with tension, he took a deep breath before uttering the words that had been suffocating him. "Jackson, we need to talk." Wife, nervously. "What is it, Jackson?" "You've been distant lately." Jackson, "Distant is an understatement. I know about the affair, about the lies that have poisoned our marriage." A heavy silence hung in the room as his wife's eyes widened in shock. The truth, a bitter pill, had been served, and Jackson awaited her response, wondering if the tears she shed earlier were genuine or just another layer of deception. Wife, stammering, "Jackson, I didn't think you knew. I never meant to hurt you." Jackson, calmly, "Hurt me? You've shattered our world. But I won't let this silence consume us any longer. It's time to face the consequences of our choices." As he spoke, Jackson's voice carried a newfound determination. The silence that had held them captive for months shattered, replaced by the raw honesty of the moment. His wife, caught in the harsh glare of truth, struggled to find words to defend her actions. "Wife, Jackson, please, let's not end this way. We can fix this, go to counseling. I'll do anything to make it right." Jackson, "It's too late for that. I've made my decision. I'm done living in this silent unraveling. I want a divorce." The room echoed with the weight of his declaration. The decision to confront had been made, setting the stage for the tumultuous chapters that lay ahead. As the silent unraveling transformed into a roar of emotions and truths, the revelation hung in the air, a heavy cloud of truth that neither Jackson nor his wife could escape. As the words, "I want a divorce," settled between them, the room seemed to contract, each breath laden with the gravity of the moment. But what happened next was beyond Jackson's expectations. His wife broke down in unexpected tears. Wife, sobbing, "Jackson, please, I can't lose you. I never meant for any of this to happen." The unexpected display of vulnerability caught Jackson off guard. The woman before him, the one he thought had grown indifferent to their crumbling marriage, was now pleading for a chance at redemption. The tears streamed down her face, tracing the contours of a pain that had remained hidden for too long. Jackson, confused, "Why now? Why the tears? Is this just another act to delay the inevitable?" Wife, choked up, "No, Jackson, I'm not acting. I messed up, and I'm so sorry. I never thought you'd find out. I never thought I'd lose you." The room echoed with her desperate pleas, the silence of their fractured marriage now replaced by the desperate cries of a woman coming to terms with the consequences of her actions. For Jackson, it was a surreal moment, a collision of emotions that left him questioning the authenticity of her tears. Jackson, firmly, "Your tears don't erase the past. We can't undo what's been done. I can't keep living a lie." The wife's tears seemed to intensify, her cries becoming more desperate as she grappled with the impending reality of divorce. The unexpected turn of events raised doubts in Jackson's mind. Was this a genuine outpouring of remorse or a strategic move to salvage the fragments of their shattered marriage? Wife, pleading, "Jackson, please, I'll do anything. We can go to counseling, start over. I love you, and I can't imagine a life without you." Jackson, reflective, "Love should have kept you from betraying us in the first place. It's too late for second chances. This is the consequence of your choices." The unexpected tears painted a complex picture of a marriage on the brink. Jackson, torn between empathy and a desire for closure, grappled with the realization that the silent unraveling had now transformed into a symphony of raw emotions, echoing through the walls of their once happy home. In the aftermath of the emotional storm, Jackson found himself grappling with the unraveling motivations behind his wife's unexpected tears. As the echoes of their confrontation lingered, he couldn't shake the question that hung in the air: were her tears a genuine expression of remorse or a strategic ploy to evade the consequences of her actions? Jackson spent sleepless nights dissecting the motivations that led to this pivotal moment. The unraveling of their marriage had taken a detour into uncharted territory, and he needed answers. Wife, apologetic. Jackson, I never meant to hurt you. I got lost confused. I thought I could fix it without involving you. Jackson, questioning. Fix it? By continuing the affair. What were you trying to achieve? And why the sudden change of heart? Wife, hesitant. I realized what I was about to lose. Our family, you. The affair was a mistake, and I panicked when I saw it slipping away. Jackson couldn't dismiss the possibility that his wife's tears were a desperate bid to salvage what remained of their fractured marriage. The motivations behind her actions unraveled like a tangled thread, revealing a woman torn between guilt and the fear of losing the life they had built together. As Jackson delved deeper into the complexities of their unraveling motivations, he questioned whether the tears were a genuine revelation of her remorse or merely a reaction to the impending reality of divorce. Wife, vulnerable. I've been reading about rebuilding marriages, seeking forgiveness. I blocked him, Jackson. I ended it. Can't we try to fix this together? Jackson, guarded. Ending it doesn't erase the past. The trust is broken. I can't pretend like the last 7 months didn't happen. The unraveling motivations exposed a struggle within his wife. A conflict between the desire for redemption and the consequences of her actions. Jackson grappled with the realization that their marriage had become a battlefield, and the motivations behind their choices had left scars too deep to heal with simple apologies. Wife, pleading, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Let's go to counseling, rebuild. Our family is worth fighting for. Jackson, resolute. It's not that simple. The unraveling goes beyond the affair. It's about trust, honesty, and the foundation of what we once had. I need time to think. The room hung heavy with the weight of unresolved emotions. The unraveling motivations continued to entwine their lives, leaving Jackson at a crossroads, torn between the remnants of a broken marriage and the uncertain path that lay ahead. As the dust settled from the emotional confrontation, Jackson turned his attention to a new frontier, navigating fatherhood amidst the shards of a fractured marriage. The well-being of his children became the compass guiding his actions, steering him through the tumultuous aftermath of the revelation. Jackson found himself in uncharted waters, a single father burdened with the responsibility of shielding his children from the storm brewing within the walls of their home. Jackson, to himself, I can't let them see the unraveling. They deserve a semblance of normalcy. Determined to maintain a sense of stability, Jackson engaged in an internal dialogue, formulating strategies to protect his children from the harsh realities of their disintegrating family. In an effort to insulate them from the chaos, Jackson initiated an age-appropriate conversation with his children, delicately addressing the changes that were about to unfold. Jackson, softly, Mom and I are going through a tough time, but it's not your fault. We both love you, and we'll figure out how to navigate this together. The children, perceptive beyond their years, absorbed the gravity of the situation, their innocent eyes reflecting a mixture of confusion and concern. Jackson, aware of the delicate balance he needed to strike, became determined to provide a stable foundation amidst the unraveling. As the days unfolded, Jackson implemented a set of principles and guidelines, illustrated on a makeshift family board. Papers adorned the wall, each outlining the do's and don'ts of their shifting reality, from how to behave when meeting their mother to addressing questions about the impending divorce. Jackson, we'll face this together. No matter what happens, you guys are my priority. Jackson took on the role of both anchor and sail, steering his children through the emotional tempest that threatened to engulf their family. He scheduled quality time, engaged in age-appropriate conversations, and made a concerted effort to be present despite the chaos unfolding around them. Wife, apologetic. Jackson, I know I messed up, but can't we find a way to make this easier for the kids? Jackson, guarded. Easier? You've shattered their world. We'll focus on being the best parents we can be, but I can't promise it'll be easy. The dialogue with his estranged wife brought to light the disparity in their perspectives on co-parenting. Jackson, resolved to be a pillar of strength for his children, acknowledged that the path ahead wouldn't be smooth. Jackson's internal struggle and dialogues with his wife set the stage for a chapter in which navigating fatherhood became a formidable challenge. The unraveling, though painful, also revealed the resilience of familial bonds and the unwavering commitment to shielding his children from the storm. In the wake of the emotional upheaval, Jackson found himself grappling with a relentless pursuit of certainty in the midst of the chaotic unknown. The threads of his unraveling marriage had left him yearning for answers, and he embarked on a quest to find clarity amid the shards of broken trust. Jackson's pursuit took him down a path of introspection, leading him to confront the uncertainties that loomed over his future. The desire for concrete answers fueled his determination to seek the truth and untangle the intricate web of deception that had enveloped his life. Jackson. Internal monologue. I need certainty, closure. I can't keep navigating this maze of uncertainties. With a resolve that bordered on desperation, Jackson delved into the intricacies of his wife's actions, seeking validation for the decisions that lay ahead. The looming divorce became not just a legal process but a quest for certainty in the face of profound betrayal. Conversations with his soon-to-be ex-wife became a battleground of conflicting emotions, as Jackson sought to extract the certainty he craved. Wife. Apologetic. Jackson, I messed up, but I want a chance to make things right. Can't we find a way to rebuild what we had? Jackson. Guarded. Rebuilding requires trust, and that's something you shattered. I need certainty that this won't happen again. The dialogue echoed the struggle between the desire for reconciliation and the necessity of certainty. Jackson grappled with the weight of his decision, torn between salvaging the remnants of a broken marriage and safeguarding his own emotional well-being. In the quest for certainty, Jackson took proactive measures, seeking reassurance through a series of concrete actions. He scheduled an STI test, a tangible step toward ensuring his health amid the shadows of betrayal. Additionally, he made the difficult decision to conduct DNA tests on his children, grappling with the uncertainty of their biological ties. Jackson. Reflective. I need certainty for their sake. If there are truths hidden in the shadows, I must bring them to light. The pursuit of certainty extended beyond personal matters to the impending divorce proceedings. Legal consultations, paperwork, and financial disclosures became the tools with which Jackson aimed to carve a path toward a future unburdened by the uncertainties of his unraveling marriage. Wife. Apologetic. Jackson, I understand you need certainty, but can't we settle this amicably? The kids are history, they deserve a less painful resolution. Jackson. Resolute. Amicable or not, the certainty I seek isn't negotiable. We must face the consequences and move forward. The dialogues and internal reflections painted a vivid picture of a man determined to extract certainty from the wreckage of his once stable life. As Jackson's pursuit unfolded, the shadows of uncertainty gradually gave way to the harsh light of truth, propelling him toward a future marked by clarity and resolution. The journey through the labyrinth of uncertainties led Jackson to a decisive moment, the final break. The threads of his unraveling marriage, once entangled in hopes of reconciliation, now lay before him, stark and unyielding. The time had come to sever the remaining ties and embark on the uncharted path of a life irrevocably altered. Jackson. Internal turmoil. This is it. The final break. I can't cling to illusions any longer. The weight of the impending divorce bore down on Jackson's shoulders as he faced the inevitable, a confrontation that would solidify the end of a chapter that had once promised forever. In a carefully orchestrated meeting, Jackson and his soon-to-be ex-wife sat across from each other, the air charged with the residual emotions of a shared history crumbling under the weight of betrayal. Wife. Tentative. Jackson, I've been thinking. Can we find a way to coexist for the sake of the kids? We don't have to make this harder than it already is. Jackson. Resolute. Coexist, perhaps, but the marriage is beyond repair. We need to accept the finality of this break. The dialogue laid bare the irreparable fractures that had widened over months of deception and silent suffering. Jackson's determination to face the truth head-on clashed with his wife's tentative plea for an amicable resolution. As the conversation unfolded, Jackson asserted his terms for the divorce, ensuring a fair division of assets and a commitment to shared custody. The legalities marked the final break from a life that had once held promises of happiness and unity. Wife. Apologetic. Jackson, I never meant for it to come to this. I wish I could undo the pain I caused. Jackson. Stoic. Wishing won't change what's been done. The pain is real, and we must each find a way to heal separately. The finality of their exchange hung in the air, a poignant reminder that the unraveling had reached its inevitable conclusion. In a moment of closure, Jackson handed over the divorce papers, a symbolic gesture marking the end of their shared journey. Wife. Reflective. I never thought it would end like this. Jackson. Reflective. Neither did I. But sometimes the only way to move forward is to embrace the break and rebuild from the pieces that remain. The echoes of their conversation reverberated in the empty spaces of what was once their shared home. The final break marked a transformative juncture for Jackson as he navigated the complexities of a life reshaped by the painful yet necessary act of letting go. The journey ahead held uncertainties, but in the quiet aftermath of the final break, Jackson found a glimmer of hope for a future yet to be written. Thank you for listening to the story to the end, and if you like it, please support us with a like as well as subscribe to our channel. Write in the comments what you